What's up, everyone, and welcome to the Microtransaction. I'm your host, Liquid. Joining me today, I have Chris. Chris, how are you today?
I'm doing phenomenal, Liquid. Just basking in the glow of the Xbox heaven.
Ooh, Xbox Heaven. What does that look? You see, I hear Xbox Heaven, and I think that's where Xbox One went when it died. You know what I'm saying? But regardless, but we're talking about something new. No. Nothing to be mad about or nothing to be concerned about here, because we have a different spin on the story now. Xbox, showing more life now, turning it around, doing something EA can't do with Battlefield, and that's just turning that ship around. Oh man, so you see the thumbnails here. What we're going to be talking about is just console sales and where they stand right now, and just how far Xbox is and PlayStation, how either close they are together or how far they are apart. We'll have to take a look. We'll talk. We'll dabble in it. We'll see.
Now, I'm sorry.
Oh no, go ahead. No.
We're just saying that our boy Phil Spencer had an interview. Wait, what was it? Forbes?
I don't know if it was Forbes or I couldn't tell you. I'm sorry.
Some bougie place where he had to be all hoity-toity, and basically they pressed him a little bit. Then he's like, "We're selling the most Xboxes we have ever sold."
Yes.
And obviously, when you say stuff like that, somebody out there's like, "Hold my beer.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an analyst.
Right.
I know the old numbers, so we can extrapolate." And by using these numbers, these are shipped numbers, by the way.
Yes.
All right, for the Xbox, we're looking around 12 million consoles shipped for Xbox. And as everyone knows, it's a feeding frenzy. They're out there. The most I've heard on any Xbox S or X being like that you can buy is on a website is like 30 minutes max. So
really?
basically ship is being sold.
Okay,
right?
I gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? So like you can extrapolate, and I think that's like amazing, because when you think a couple things, Liquid. We talk about how every console generation, we always have like, is this the last console generation?
Right.
And the answer keeps on being like, no, fam. People love consoles.
Yeah.
People love having the box. Like, PCs are growing in popularity every year, but apparently so is consoles.
Yes.
And what we thought, Xbox technically shouldn't be doing this good. And I think there's one key reason why.
Okay.
Game Pass.
I gotcha. See, I want to give you a little pushback, Chris, because I feel like there's multiple reasons. I don't think there's just one. And going about what you said, because you mentioned that like the Xboxes, they're on sale for like what, 30 minutes or so. Now, are we talking about the Series X? Is that what we're talking about, or?
No, this is the Series X/S.
Okay.
The two SKU system.
Okay, I got you here. All right. So,
because PlayStation, it doesn't technically count as a 2Q. I know there's disc and discless, but they're not technically different. Just one just has.
They're both PS5s.
So,
and they both output the same. It's just one takes a disc and one doesn't. Yeah, you're right. I got you. Now, you mentioned Game Pass, and yes, I think Game Pass is a huge reason as to why, as to the success. I think Game Pass is one of them. But to go sort of to tie into that, I think just the way they ended the year of 2021 was very strong. You had the Forza, you had Halo Infinite. You know what I'm saying? Not only did you have Halo Infinite, but you had it free, the multiplayer, that is. And then people play that, they like it, they hear the buzz around the what's going around the industry, and so hey, let me try out this campaign. You can pay $60 for it from GameStop and get a cool multiplayer skin, or, and that's only at select GameStops, by the way, or you could just buy or have Game Pass. Get a subscription for Game Pass. At most, you're spending $15 if you want the ultimate one, ultimate version of the Game Pass, and that'll get you the game. You could play the entire story through that. So I think people see that, they see the value in Game Pass, absolutely. They see the games that are out and what people are talking about. I think that's a strong thing. That's a strong one as well. I think the lack of PS5s also helps the sales. I think that helps. So I just think overall Xbox had a great 2021. That's what really this is coming down to. Now, I do think it's still a little early. I did expect them to kind of be a little close to each other, at least in the beginning, because that's how Xbox One and PS4 was for a little bit, and then PS4 started running away with it. The reason why I'm even saying this is because Xbox Series S, I'm on Amazon, it says it's in stock right now as we speak. So I don't think they're selling as fast as they're claiming, or as Phil Spencer's selling. You know, he's saying, hey, they're because I've heard people say the same thing, where it's like, hey, as soon as they're on the shelves, they're gone, or as soon as they're on the shelves within a few minutes or an hour, so they're gone, and stuff like that. And I don't know if that's the case. I just feel like it's just maybe a thing of it being super early, you know, and I just feel like it's the fact also that PS5 they just don't have any games right now really to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's another big thing. We're just like, hey, I got $500 for a PS5. It looks like this shit's not happening anytime soon. Hey, let me just buy with Series S. I'll still have $200. Try to get another $300 a little later down the line until PS5 becomes available. You know, I don't see that being too crazy for someone.
I don't think it's too crazy either. And that's another thing I want to talk about, because you said the Xbox Series S.
Yes.
And I think if you look at the 12 million shipped/sold,
right,
I think the bulk of that is the Xbox Series S. I think because of the superconductor thing, thing that you were talking about, and it's easier to make the S. Thus, because you can definitely tell when they mean you can buy Xboxes, they mostly mean the S's.
For sure.
Trying to find a Series X is incredibly more difficult. But the thing is, they're not that different. Like, don't get me wrong, the Xbox Series X is like a beefy machine. It's great, but for what most people use console gaming for, it's like you don't necessarily need it. And when you push comes to shove, it's like, is $200 really worth being like, oh, I have this compared to that? It's like, not really.
Think so. Yeah, I don't think so neither.
And I'm gonna have to give you a little pushback, sir, because you say not that many PlayStations, but before the holiday season, PlayStation reported over 13.5 million consoles sold/shipped. And so you say there's not enough. There is technically more PlayStations out in the wild than there are Xboxes.
You're saying before the holidays, though.
Before the holiday, they were at 13.44, right? So I think the number could be maybe around like at least 14, and that's not a knock to PlayStation and the amount of people want it. It's just what they can make because we are in a chip shortage.
Right.
But technically speaking, there are more PlayStations in the wild than Xbox. Okay. So that's just a thing. I said it like I was gonna say one more thing, but that's just like, you said there were the lack of PlayStation. Technically, there's more PlayStations.
So you're saying there's more PlayStations out in the wild, but you can find the Series S and not a PlayStation 5.
Yes.
Is it just so?
But there are more. The thing is, we're talking about demand.
No, I get that we're talking about demand.
Winning.
No, I get the demand is higher. 100%. That much, yeah. I think that goes without saying. We know the demand is higher on PlayStation. I think that's. I know. I agree. But my whole thing is like, if I could find a Series S, right, and I can't find a PlayStation 5, like, again, we're talking about like you mentioned, you said before the holidays with the PlayStation 5 being out, but this quote
they haven't released any numbers yet.
Yeah, they haven't really said any numbers anytime. I think the last time they announced numbers was actually November, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, before the holiday.
Yeah, it was exactly. So it's like right before the holiday release. So yeah, I feel like I agree, there was probably more then, but I feel like as of right now, I just feel like the fact that I can find a Series S just goes to show exactly what I'm talking about here.
I think we're talking about two separate things. I'm talking about total out. I'm not talking about that you can buy. Okay, I'm talking about like there's more PlayStations that have been produced.
Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. I got what you're now.
I think we got mixed.
Okay, yeah. I think I misunderstood.
All right. Yeah.
But yeah, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, which I think it's fascinating, and that's just console sold.
Right.
Like we said about game, and I think the affordable console that is the Xbox Series S, one that I own myself, and they're tightening up on, but apparently at one point until recently, you could totally hack it and just play anything on it. So, we don't condone that kind of thing here, but you could have done it.
Right.
Like you had the affordable console and you had Game Pass, and like Liquid just said on Amazon, if you want to buy one, you could buy one.
Yeah.
And even like for the Xbox Series X's compared to S's, technically on the black market, if you want to go by those sales, like PlayStations are technically more expensive still than Xbox Series X by like $50. So like it's just, but the thing is, Liquid, these is crazy that they're even close to each other right now.
Yeah, you see, and that's the thing. I don't think it's that crazy, I guess is what I'm trying to like. I think we're so,
I feel like I love my Muppet.
But I just feel like because we're basing it a lot of last generation on just how much of a downfall Xbox was, and I think that's where we're really kind of focused on, that it's kind of blurring our vision, because like I do feel like in the beginning both started off hot, and PlayStation 4 and Xbox One both started off hot, and then I think with the, like you said, with the chip shortage, the lack of IP from PlayStation towards the end of 2021, like I feel like that's gonna make it closer than or close, like neck and neck is what I'm thinking here. Like I kind of had a feeling, especially with the undeniable deal that you get with Game Pass. I know PlayStation's working on something. I don't think it's gonna, like, people talking about, oh yeah, how they're gonna compete with it. I don't see it competing with Game Pass. There's just no way. I think what they just need to rely on is their software. That's what's gotten sort of where they're at now. And I think that's where they should continue. Once we start seeing the software, I think you'll start seeing then the PlayStation start edging it out again. That's what I'm thinking.
I'm gonna play a little conspiracy corner.
Oh hell yeah!
I think the reason why Spartacus is even a thing, because they can't rely on their software because of the state of the world. So they have to take a playbook. They have to basically take us a little bit of Nintendo, a little bit of Xbox, mix it together, and then that's what Spartacus is gonna be. I think they're falling back on the PS, because the thing is, apparently there's 3 levels, tiers to their version of Game Pass, and the top tier is supposed to be you'll be able to play PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and PSP games, kind of doing what Nintendo did when they tried to do the N64 games, but putting it on it's just what they tried.
I know. We're good.
Anyway, and then going with Game Pass with the subscription thing, because I think I think Horizon's for sure coming out next year, and they know that they're gonna have. I think this is gonna be another lonely year for PlayStation, where they're gonna try to like Forspoken is supposed to come out in April. That game is not coming out in April.
I don't see that happening. Now you said Horizon is coming out next year. You said, or
Horizon's coming? No, Horizon's coming out this year.
This year. Okay, good.
God of War, Forspoken. I think they're going to lean on like games like Sifu and stuff like that. And remember, and this is another thing I wanted to ask you. All right, but like the SKU system, and I think the lack of content is coming up. And I want to, before I get into the software side, I want to just add you one quick question, and I really want your opinion on this. Because PlayStation just recently announced that they were going to double down and start making more PS4s. Now, do you think with the boost in production of PS4s, will that ultimately affect the sales of the PS5?
Oh, that's a good question.
Thanks, I did it myself.
Will it affect the PS5? I mean, it can. I don't see. I don't see a world where it doesn't. I mean, you figure you got to spend time, money, resources on, whenever you're putting something like that together. So, that's time, money, resources that wouldn't be spent on essentially PS5 or anything else for that matter. So, yeah, I think it plays into it a little bit. Absolutely.
Yeah, because I think it's their version of the Xbox Series S. Because I think Horizon you can play on PS4. Forspoken, I don't think is a true next gen thing where you can play on both as well.
Right.
And this is a huge asterisk, so it can change. The next gen experience that we're looking at doesn't come out till not I was gonna say Skyrim, but now I can't think of the name.
Starfield.
The people that make Skyrim, Starfield.
Right.
Starfield is the numbered wise the next gen. We won't get a true next game until November.
If they hit that, even.
I think they're gonna hit that.
I hope so for them.
Yeah. I'm not gonna say it's gonna work 100% great, but I'm doing it that day.
But yeah, that is crazy, and then it also further just strengthens the reason why they would continue to manufacture the PS4 when you got all these games that are going to be available for PS4 anyways. You know what I'm saying? So definitely, again, I wouldn't be surprised if Xbox takes the lead. Like I know you mentioned before when we were talking about like the Project Spartacus that they can't rely on their software, but I feel like if they don't come out day and date with their first party content, then I feel like that's still an indicator that they're relying on their software heavily at that point. You know what I'm saying?
They're relying on older. I'm sorry. I guess I should have drawn the line in the sand a little bit, but I meant like their newer software, not like the old stuff.
Wait, I'm sorry. Now I'm a little confused. I'm sorry. Can you
elaborate?
Because
the Spartacus stuff is gonna be like their older stuff,
right?
I don't think they're doing day and date.
Right, exactly. I think that's a pretty much guarantee almost that they're not doing day and date.
Yeah, and I think Spartacus is gonna be like a hot thing to help them and like the lonely months. I gotcha.
Yeah, no, I think you're right, and I think there's gonna be a lot more lonely months, well ahead of us, even within this year as well. So. I think, is it there to help them? Absolutely. Is it there to compete with Game Pass? Maybe. But I just don't see how they can. I just don't see how it compares. Like, I would still be excited. I would be stoked to play PS1, PS2, PS3, PS4, and PSP. The PSP is a console that I really missed out on. So I would be stoked to play that. Absolutely. So, I don't know.
So, Liquid, a little friendly gentleman's bet. Do you think there's a world? Are we doing another pizza bet? We can do another pizza bet.
No, these pizza bets better be like Little Caesars, bro. I ain't buying no gourmet pizza, bro.
First of all, you live right next to a Papa John's, my dude.
I will drive out of my way to get a $5 hot and ready, bro.
Yo, don't sleep on the hot and readies.
No,
first of all, they're not. They had a problem.
Oh, that's right. They did go up, but they did add 30% more pepperoni.
Ooh.
So just throwing it out there. I just saw the commercial yesterday. Oh my god! I'm sorry. Were you gonna say something else?
Yeah. Well, I forgot what I was getting at. I was like, do you think there is a world where this year Xbox passes PlayStation in console sales? Once this generation's all said and done, or in general? This year.
Oh no, this year. I think it could happen. I think it could happen. Like I believe. Like I almost feel like it will happen. Is where I'm at right now. The thing is that it's gonna be tough because will Microsoft finally reveal numbers if that happens? You know what I'm saying? And the thing is, because I'm like, well, if they reveal numbers and if they, let's say they get lagged behind, because I feel like what's gonna happen is Xbox is gonna go ahead, and then I feel like this year, and then I feel like they're gonna eventually once we start getting more software from PlayStation will ultimately win again, essentially when it comes to sales. Just because I feel like Xbox's focus is not selling their console, it's the subscription model. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're losing sight of that a lot. That they're sure selling consoles is obviously a priority, but is it the priority? I don't think so. But the fact that they're able to sell more this year, I think speaks a lot, dude. I think it's great. I love it. I love seeing Xbox turn this ship around. I love everything they've had to offer. You know, so dude, the other day I got I can't remember when was the last time I got 1,000 achievements in a game, and the other day I did it. So, they're doing great things, and I'm happy we're here for it, because then it finally tells PlayStation, yo, time to light a fire under your ass, get off of it, and do something about it.
I couldn't agree with you more, Liquid. And when it comes to this kind of stuff with Spartacus, with another subscription deal, one that's worth its weight. You know what I'm saying? Not like Ubisoft Plus or something like that.
Garbage.
Yeah. Like, I think ultimately we as a consumers win.
Damn right.
When Xbox and PlayStation is fighting for our love. Yep. You know what I'm saying?
Damn right.
Oh man, I love it. Well, Liquid, any last things you want to tell?
Wasn't I host? I was gonna say, wasn't I hosting this episode?
I know what I want to say. I want to say.
No, Chris. No, Chris. I don't have anything else to say. What about you? Do you have anything else to say?
Xbox. The only numbers I really want is a comparison of how many Xbox Series S has been sold compared to X's.
That would be interesting. I would like to see that too.
I would love to see that.
Same.
I think I'm on the money when I think it's the S's over the X's.
Right.
But what if I'm wrong?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, that would be interesting numbers to see. So yeah, no, I agree. Well, gonna let you all go with love each other, take care, above all else, be cool. This has been a microtransaction.